Hi everyone. Hey friends, Bart here, and I wanted to share with you something that is something that we're going to be doing. Me and my team, basically, we're starting a book club where we read a book, okay, and we take it chapter by chapter, week by week. I mean, kind of silly of me to explain what a book club is, but we're starting a book club. Basically, we're going to be reading Think and Grow Rich, and the very first chapter. Hold on. I'm going to grab the book. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to be reading this book chapter by chapter, one chapter each week, and then we're going to be discussing it on the Google Hangout. So I don't have the link yet. We're just setting this up, but we are doing chapter 1 today. If I do get the link, I will be including it here on my blog, so you could join us. You could actually join us in the discussion. You could be a part of this club, and I wanted to cover chapter 1 today because we're starting with chapter 1, and I've read this book several times. As a matter of fact, I've got it all. I don't know if you can see it. I got it all highlighted, not highlighted, but I use a pencil, underline it. And I usually when I read books, I read books with a pencil, and actually my dad taught me this a while back, because if I need to make a note, if something comes to my mind, I need to make a note, I just write it right there in the book, okay? And this way, if I go back to the book, my notes are right there, and all my books are like that. So, if you'd ever borrow a book from me, it'd be all underlined, and you probably might get annoyed reading one of my books if I would lend a book out, but it's just full of notes and full of underlining. So anyway, chapter 1 in Think and Grow Rich. That's the book that we're going to be covering, and in the first chapter, it's just amazing because I just came back. Well, actually, I live here in Chicago, and we had the Empower Network event in Chicago, which was phenomenal, and we have these every night. We have these events every 90 days, and they just get better and better, and it's kind of weird. It's they might call you might call, some people might call it a coincidence, but I call it the law of attraction, the way it works. But you pick up some ideas from. I mean, you pick up a lot of golden nuggets, from the event, and then the best way to do this is you go to the event. You get to hang out with the people that you normally see on Facebook. You get to hang out with a bunch of cool people, and you get to share ideas. And not only that, during the event, you hear the speakers. And one thing that I picked up that really stood out, that was it smacks you right in the face, that it's not about being successful. Is not just about money. Okay, money is the byproduct of actually becoming a servant leader. Okay, that's just a byproduct. I don't know if you ever heard Zig Ziglar say that you can get anything that you want in life if you help others get what they want in life. Okay, because the money, which gives you, of course, it gives you time and freedom and all that good stuff, and style and a beautiful house and a beautiful car, whatever it is that you want. Money can buy those things for you. Okay, but the key is, when you I've went through this when I was in real estate, and when I used to try to get a customer, because I used to prospect. Okay, we teach in Empower Network that you can get what you want without prospecting. You could be very successful in your business without prospecting on the phone. Tony Rush, David Wood say, put down the phone and pick up the paycheck, okay? And yes, it does work, but when I was in real estate, I was prospecting, getting new customers. And what I noticed is that the funny thing is, whenever I was prospecting or I was trying to get a client, and I was thinking about, if it was a house for $300,000-400,000, and when I thought about the commission that that I was going to make if I sell that house, if I get that first, I had to get the client, then sell the house, and once you sell the house, you get paid the commission. And when I thought about the money, guess what? I didn't have any results. When I would call people and I would know if I'm calling somebody, prospect, who's trying to sell their house, and I know what the price of the house, and I thought about the commission, and it would come through in my voice, and it's hard to explain. I mean, we use electricity. I mean, I use electricity, you use electricity, but we don't know how it works. I mean, do you know how it works? I don't know how it works. If you do, that's great, but most of us use electricity. We don't know how it works. We just know that it works, okay? It's the same thing here. If you want to get, if you want to get results, okay, and when in your mind you're thinking about money, okay, and you're thinking about how when you do something you're going to get the money, and it's all about the money, and the payoff is going to be the money. If that's what you focus on, you actually, the weird thing is, we say that you get what you focus on. Well, when it comes to money, it's a little different, because money is a form of energy, okay? And when you think about money, especially if you're desperate, okay, if you're in network marketing and you're thinking, I just need one more recruit, well, the thing is, you're always going to be needing just one more recruit, or I need to have 4 recruits this month. That's the mentality we have in network marketing. 4 recruits. That's it. People put that, because in traditional network marketing, that's the mentality, is just 4 recruits a month, that's ridiculous. Here in Empower Network, we got people that bring in 2 people. That's our formula, 2 people a day. Okay, not 4 people a month. But anyway, going back to having the need, I need this, I need that, I need it because I need the money. If that's what your focus is, that's what you're going to, that's what's going to come through in your email that you're writing, in the video that you're shooting, in whatever content, your blog post you're writing. That's going to come through. I don't know how it works, but it just works. When you have on your mind struggle, that you need something, and if you can just get that, then you'll get the money, okay? And the irony here is that the event in Chicago was called Get Money, okay? But we know that it's not really about getting money, because there's several steps before you get the money, okay? And that is, one of those is to become a servant leader. And you're thinking right now, why isn't he talking about Think and Grow Rich? Well, that is in the first chapter, okay? Like, just an example, okay? This chapter is about 20 pages long, and there's several stories, okay? But and all of them kind of come out at you, and every time I read this book, you could just read one chapter, and you'll discover something different every time. It's kind of like watching your favorite movie. Every time you watch the movie, you find something different, okay? Well, Edwin C. Barnes had a real desire, okay, to be partner of Edison, okay? Which we know Edison, one of the best inventors of all time, in the history of the world, and that's all he ever wanted. He didn't think about the money, okay? He didn't think that I might, if I become the business partner of Edison, I'm going to make all this money, okay? that never crossed his mind. What did cross his mind is, no matter what, he says, I'm going to be the partner of Thomas Edison. And he ended up. And I want to read you this little paragraph here where it says, how much actual cash that original desire of Barnes's has been worth to him, I have no way of knowing. Now this is Mr. Napoleon Hill writing, writing this. And he says, perhaps it has brought him $2 or $3 million, but the amount, whatever it is, becomes insignificant when compared with the greater asset he acquired in the form of definite knowledge that an intangible impulse of thought can be transmuted into its physical counterpart by the application of known principles. Barnes literally thought himself into a partnership with the great Edison. He didn't think about the money. It had nothing to do with money. He just wanted to be a partner with Thomas Edison. And his thoughts drove the desire. And his thoughts actually became exactly what it is he wanted. Okay? And he said, if you read this chapter, he said it didn't matter, he said it didn't matter how long it's going to take, but that is the only thing that he wanted out of it, is to become his partner. And the byproduct of that partnership eventually turned into dollars, the get money part. Okay, so the other story that's in here also is of a guy named R.U. Darby, an uncle of R.U. Darby, was caught by the gold fever in the gold rush days and went to dig and grow rich. All he thought was about the money, okay? And he literally stopped 3 feet from gold, okay, from getting. I think this was one of the biggest discoveries. After he sold it, the guy who bought it, who kept digging, was one of the biggest gold mines, in that area. But this guy stopped. And here's what it says here, right in the beginning before they tell the story. He says he had never heard, he got this gold rush. He wanted to dig and grow rich, but he had never heard that more gold has been mined from the brains of men that has ever been taken from the earth. Okay, he didn't have the right mindset. He gave up before reaching his goal because he had a desire to get money, to get the gold. That was his desire. But do you see the difference here? Like Mr. Barnes wanted to become something. He wanted to be Edison's partner, and yet never thought about the money. Okay, but the money was the byproduct. And this guy wanted to get rich. That was his thought. I wanted to be rich from this gold mine, from this gold fever. But he didn't have it up there. Okay, he was going for the money, and yet he dug and dug and dug, and he quit 3 feet away from one of the largest gold mines in history. He quit because his desire was to get money. He didn't have a bigger purpose. So that's what I took away from this first chapter. And that's exactly what I took away from the Chicago event, Empower Network Chicago event. It's not about the money. It's about getting what you want, but having a bigger purpose than just getting the money. I know I went a little overboard with this, 15 minutes. So I'm out. Definitely, I will have more information about our book club, so you can join in on the conversation, and I will talk to you in the next video. Take care.